Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Jay Rana Show, filmed today at the beautiful Titan Union. As always, I always have surprise guests coming on, and today we have none other than the infamous DJ Ash G from DJ USA. What up, bro?
What's up, baby?
How are you?
How are you? Thank you for having me. I know we rescheduled a few times, but I appreciate the time.
Absolutely. Thank you for making the time, man.
Looking forward to chopping it up, man. Let's do it.
Absolutely, bro. I make sure that we try to be no filter as much as we can. And I can't really curse too much, because next thing you know, it's a whole bunch of bleeps and beeps and this and that.
I'm coming from work right now anyway, so it's just I already have that world filter, so it's all.
So you already have the professional outlook. Yeah. I mean, I see the vest. I see the finance vest. I mean, so let me ask you a question. Real talk.
As long as you classify me as a finance bro, not a tech bro, I'm all good.
Real talk. Every time I go to New York City and I'm on Wall Street, right, I see all the dudes wearing the same vest.
Yeah.
So when did the vesting come into effect as the attire for the finance world?
Great question. In a nutshell, especially if you talk about Wall Street, you talk about finance, and I don't say finance. Maybe sometimes I do. When you're on the street and it gets cold in New York, you have to find a middle hybrid ground where you're not too hot, but you're not too cold.
Okay.
So when we're in the office and the heater's blasting, the vest is just, at least for most guys, I won't speak for everyone, a vest is just good enough. Because we're either on the subway or, walking around.
No, I don't believe it at all. You're telling me the weather itself.
Yes, that was the genesis. That was the genesis of wearing sort of like a light jacket or like a vest, which is why Patagonia is such a popular brand in that crowd.
So it's always black or navy blue.
No. There's gray, there's maroon, it's however you want to dress it up, man.
I always thought, now I'm not in finance whatsoever, so if I'm wrong, I don't give a shit. I thought, this is funny, that the color of the vest played a part in the role you played in that company.
That's a very interesting observation. In my humble opinion, I think Navy's...
Wait, am I right or am I wrong?
Yes and no. Yes and no. So yes, because most of, I would say, the higher end brands always started out with Navy, because it's a very classic, subdued, but professional, because it kind of compares to wearing a Navy suit.
Right.
So it plays off of that. Right. It's a power suit.
Yeah.
So it's a power vest. It's kind of the play off of that. So if you're MD downwards, then you probably are rocking something Navy or something camel. And then after that is whatever you can afford.
Facts.
So.
Okay, I can appreciate that. I mean.
Again, that's my interpretation. I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know.
Thanks for clarifying that, bro. I do really appreciate that, man. Nah, but I was just looking at it. I was like, you're definitely in finance, and I was looking at all my other friends. They're all in finance as well, and they all look like. Do you all have the same haircuts? Do you look alike?
My haircut might be a little different. I don't know.
I mean, talk about different haircuts. I try my best. I try my best to stand out in everything I do.
I have to, because I don't have a forehead, I have a 5 head. So
you and me both. You and me both. Yo. We took a picture. You and I, we took a picture a while ago, and one of my buddies, I think it was Encore Garg from Flexworks. He said, yo, there's a lot of thought process going on in this picture. That's what he said. And it blew my fucking mind. I couldn't stop laughing for a while.
Yours might be actually processing. Mine just might be a spinning wheel, but one way or the other, yes.
Nice. Bro, so DJ USA, Ash G, thanks for coming down. Dude, talk to me about the wedding industry. Talk to me about how you got into it. When did you start DJing? So
one has a little bit to do with the other. I started DJing back in, I want to say, 1997. 96, 97. It was more along the lines of I met someone we actually all know, DJ Vishal, Super DJ Vishal from back in the day.
I know Vishal, right?
Me and him went to high school together in Queens. And so I, at that time, was brand new to the country, right? Like I had just...
Where are you from?
I'm born in Africa.
Okay.
I grew up in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
So I started high school in Queens, and he was in one of my classes, and we just kind of linked up, became homies.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, dude, like I'm doing this party, you know, and I was just like, party? Like for what? Like I had no idea the concept of like partying every week
Right.
or every weekend, or let alone getting paid for it.
Paid really well for it.
Right. So he put me onto that scene, and it just kind of honestly snowballed from there.
Yeah.
No pun intended. And I ended up going to Pace University in the city, met the right people, right promoters, and one thing led to the other.
Nice.
It was probably, 8-Ball, Justin, Biju, all these amazing guys that I went to school with, introduced me to...
Oh, geez. You just...
Introduced me to... Well, not introduced me. I actually met this guy that I opened up for once at a place called Tennessee Mountain in, I want to say 1999, in the city. And his name happened to be New York's infamous DJ Sharad.
Gotcha.
And that was it.
That was it.
But since then, don't get me wrong, there was several other people. Like I think you had Suhail recently on,
Suhail came
right, on the show. Suhail helped me out more than I can even imagine. Manny, old school D&D, if you remember that name.
I remember those. I'm 45, bro. I've been in it for a minute.
The whole Karma crew, RB, rest in peace. There's just it's such a insane and amazing network of people. And this is just talking about the tri-state.
Right.
I'm not even touching the Midwest. I'm not touching South. I'm not touching West Coast. This is literally within our New York, New Jersey, Connecticut vibes.
So New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut, right? You just named one of some of the top players, some of the top names.
Yep.
And you would feel like New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, that you'll have so many people, so many different DJs,
Yep.
30, 40, 50, even hundreds at that point. But it's not.
Yep.
It's not like hundreds of DJs that actually are known
Yep.
or actually are true players, I want to say.
Yep.
There's only a handful.
Yes.
Right? And why do you think that is? Is it because of just how tight the network is? Is it a lot of nepotism? Is it just like, yo, I got your back, you got my back?
So I can't deny that there is nepotism.
Yeah.
That's just a given fact in any industry.
Or we're also brown, so it's part of it.
That even curates it even more, right? Like we try to take care of our own.
Yeah, 100%.
To a certain degree, because I can't lie that there were, certain conflicts and certain like little friction between companies, crews, whatever, right? We're not getting into that. But
why not? I wanna get into that. Hold on.
We can.
Go ahead.
Let me land my plane. We can. But in the grand scheme of things, even the people, and this is factually me knowing from experience, that even when push came to shove, that even people and companies that not necessarily got along, if push came to shove, we would catch each other's back.
That's absolutely true. Now, based on my own personal experience in the wedding industry here in Jersey, right, there's a couple of companies that we all know and love. We work with everybody. It's friendly competition all the time, right?
Yep.
It's friendly competition because I'm going to be a little bit this way, you'll be a little bit that way, but we always push each other to be better,
Correct.
right? But like you said, when push comes to shove, you have everyone's back. I mean, that's just the nature of the game at this point because it's such a small world. The wedding industry, I say it all the time on the show, the wedding industry is a small, small world. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's supported by maybe a handful of people.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
1000%.
So you mentioned there's some conflicts here and there. You mentioned that,
Conflicts will, if you aren't having conflicts in your business, then you probably aren't operating properly.
What do you mean?
In business, and if you pick a trade, in this case, we're talking about the wedding industry.
Right.
If you pick a trade, you're not necessarily going to agree and follow somebody else's path.
Okay.
You might just have your own vision. You might
Right.
have your own idea of what the industry may or should look like. See what I'm
What the
saying?
industry can do for you?
No, just in general. Like
Okay.
you might, so I'll give you a perfect example, like without mentioning names, but I'll give you a perfect example. When you take some of the legacy generational companies that have
Right.
been in the business, right? And you compare that to some of the newer companies that are coming on board within the Eastern Seaboard, right? No pun intended. There is a reason why we call them newer. It's not because they're inexperienced, it's because they just have different ideas.
Gotcha.
Those ideas, good, bad, or indifferent, is not for me to decide.
Okay.
Because I'm not their client. I'm another vendor.
Right.
Right? So I have zero. I can pass my own judgment, and that would be my own opinion, my personal opinion. It is not reflective of my company. It's not reflective of people that I work with. None of that. I can have my own opinion of somebody's work. But does that generalize what they're doing for the community, what they're doing for the event space, for the industry? Absolutely not.
No,
With that said, they are free, and they should be free to experience and express themselves as they please.
100%, I have to agree. It's like all the new vendors, just like you said, they have their own vision and what they feel like the wedding industry should look like, right?
Yeah, moving forward.
From the DJ point of view to the decorator point of view, the catering point of view.
Yep.
They're all catering to the new bride.
Correct.
The bride for 2024 versus the bride from
Ding,
2014.
Ding, ding, ding.
Right? And again, the bride in 2034 is going to be completely different.
Yeah.
Right? So the same cats that are running the show now,
Yeah.
in 10 years, they're going to be the OGs.
Yeah. I mean, not to age anybody up that's watching, or myself or anybody else in this room, but there's a BuzzFeed article that I just read that talks about how the 2000s is considered, and things in fashion, music, whatever you want to call it, from the 2000s is considered retro at the moment.
Bro, don't even get me started.
Just think
on
about
this.
that one more time, right?
I know what you're talking about.
So if we're not innovating, then we're just going to keep getting left behind.
There was this meme that I saw, and it's all about the memes nowadays. But there's a meme that I saw about, old school hip hop.
Yeah.
50 Cent was on it.
Yep.
50 Cent was on it.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, are you kidding me?
Triple OG, man.
Yo, and that's 2000s, right? Biggie, 2000s, Tupac, 2000s, right?
Late 90s, early 2000s?
Is
That's
that really
OG right now.
retro? Is that old school hip hop, R&B?
Yeah.
I'm 45 years old. I still rock it.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, we're doing a party. You telling me you're not going to drop In the Club by 50 Cent? Of course.
I mean, we still do, but
and then everyone goes nuts.
I think we both have experienced this. We drop different genres, like different variations of it, different remixes of it, different mashups of it, different blends of it. With technology now, it's not almost possible, but it's imperative for a DJ, irrespective of how old or young you are, to know technology, to know how to use it to your advantage, and just get creative, man. Dude, I've heard like Punjabi vocals on like metal rock.
That's dope.
And I'm like,
that's sick.
You would have never pegged me for somebody who likes metal rock, but I'm like, this is heavy metal Punjabi. Like, this is vibes.
Right.
I'm all about it.
Speaking of technology, I talk about it all the time. Is it technology that enhances your event, or is it the skill set of a particular DJ, the skill set of a particular, or the design of a particular decorator to enhance your event?
Good question. I think from a vendor standpoint, everybody is to some degree on their own. Yes, of course, everybody enhances everybody else's experience. You could have a shitty DJ or a shitty MC, but have the most grandiose venue and grandiose affair.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Light show.
You could just be a phenomenal DJ or MC and have all the perks in the world and just be a shitty client.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
That's very possible. People don't address it. People don't think about it. People don't talk about it. But it is very possible. Point is, everybody's supposed to enhance each other's experience.
Right.
And if you're not, then you're not. Cool. We're not all going to get hundreds all the time.
Yeah.
As much as my parents would have liked me to. But,
have you had any shitty ass clients?
I don't badmouth, and I will not badmouth any client.
Well, not clients are not going to be
but
shitty.
experiences,
so, bride
yeah,
and grooms,
for sure.
like
Man.
they will always love you.
So to answer one of your first questions, so I started DJing back in 1998, going into 99.
High school.
When I graduated high school. So for the record, I'm turning 44 this Saturday.
Birthday.
So appreciate you. But with that said, that was all strictly clubs. Like
Gotcha.
New York City, Florida, wherever, like just clubs. The wedding industry, I was privileged to get into probably around 2003 when DJ USA first truly kind of came into fruition, right? Like the company really came into its own, came into its form with Shara, Juicy, Max, and Marco, and myself. I would peg them as like the top four, like the main guys that started the company.
Yeah.
I was happy to join in, with them. And since then, it's been a fucking roller coaster.
Nice.
Love it.
You mentioned that you were doing clubs in the beginning, and then you started to go into the wedding industry, right? Differences. What's the difference between rocking a club and rocking a private event?
So I think knock on wood.
What's easier for you?
Knock on wood clubs are definitely easier.
Okay.
Without a doubt. There's no question about that. In my humble opinion, again. But I think my MO at that time, I got in at a time where a lot of my friends that I went to college with were now graduating, maybe getting engaged or getting married eventually within a span of say 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Right after that period of take 2003 of me joining USA to say 2013. I mean that's prime time of people. I think most of us that have known anyone, mutual friends or not, either got married or, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a perfect genesis in terms of timing and building clientele, building a book of business.
That's for a lot of companies that came up in the 2000s.
For sure.
Myself included.
Yourself included.
Yeah. I mean, it was golden.
Yeah.
It was golden. Yeah. I mean,
not to age yourselves even more by calling it the golden years, but
it is what it was. Listen, we didn't have to work too hard, right? Yeah. I mean, parties were coming in left and right, hand over fist at that point.
Yeah.
And the numbers,
do you remember having a single Memorial or Labor Day weekend off?
No.
Hell no.
4th of July, Memorial, Labor, Thanksgiving weekend, nothing. And that was just the norm, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about that on a couple of earlier shows as far as sacrifice is concerned, Memorial Day, all the family days, all the family holidays. You were never there.
No.
You're always working.
Yep.
Right? You're always with other people.
Yep.
And other families, making sure they're having the best time of their lives.
Yep.
But you're home.
Yeah.
But you're not home. You're working, and your parents are home by themselves. Your family, like missing all those special occasions, birthday parties, dinners, whatever. Yeah. Right. That definitely takes a toll.
Big toll.
That
massive toll.
That takes a big toll on your personal life. Me personally, I think it took a big toll on my personal life. That's why I got married at a later age, because I wanted to make sure my career was well structured.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And not really focus both, like 50% career, 50% love life. It's just back and forth.
I think you and I kind of shared a similar sentiment when it came to family life and all that, is that a strong foundation defines everything.
100%.
So, and a strong foundation includes having your finances proper, having your, your outlook proper. Like, what do you envision for the next 5 years? And hopefully that vision includes these special people.
Right.
So, yeah, I think you and I I think why we got along quite a bit was because it's not like we hung out all the time.
Yeah.
But anytime we did, it was just kind of picking up where we left off, picking up from the same vision and sharing the fact that, okay, cool, like you want to do right by your family. And I can, if you know anything about my history, you know that comes first to me above everything else.
Yeah.
So everything I do is for them.
Family is everything, man. Like everything that we do today, like even us talking about just chopping it up, right? Just talking, just having a good time. It has to go back to the family, right? What are we going to leave behind for our family? Like, I'm sure my mom and dad watching this right now. Love you, mom. Love you, dad. But like stuff of that nature, right? You want to make sure that we do right by them.
Yeah.
Make them proud of us. Whatever I do, I'm the oldest son, I'm the only son. Everything I've done in my life, I appreciate that. Everything I've done was always from my mom and dad, right? Making sure that, because brown people, we talk. Brown uncles and aunties, kakas and kakis, they talk in a bunch of rumors, right?
Yeah.
And even till this day, my parents are in Florida, bro. They live in Florida, they're all retired. They still get rumors. Oh, well, we saw your son. We saw your son on TV. We saw your son doing a party in Virginia. He was in Mexico last week. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that brings some type of joy.
People talk in terms of like, it's a great thing that people talk. And when I say people, I don't just mean our people, but I mean just people in general.
Yeah.
I never really fell into that lo que kahenge mentality.
Yeah.
Just because I've had a very unique upbringing, very unique family structure, so on and so forth.
What was it unique?
Like most people get surprised when they're like, "Oh, you're Desi, right?" And I'm like, "Well, my parents are Desi." It's not that I'm not proud to be Indian or anything like that, but I have spent so little time in that country that it's hard for me to just say I'm Indian.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Okay.
My dad's Indian, Kolkata Bengali.
Okay.
My mom's from Kerala. She's Malayali. I was born in Africa.
Okay.
And I grew up in Saudi Arabia. When I came here, I already spoke 6 different languages.
Wow. Impressive.
So it's extremely hard to assimilate is an understatement. But I think over time, over the last few years, not few years, but the last few decades rather, just the sense of being more accepting, being the sense of having the ability to talk to somebody, be like, wait, how do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't speak Gujarati, but I understand it.
Gotcha.
I don't speak Punjabi, but I understand it.
Right.
And that attributes to most of my friends.
Do you speak Hindi?
I speak Hindi fluently.
Oh, okay. Well, that's part of the reason, right? Because every other language, Gujarati and Punjabi, I feel like it all derived from Hindi.
Yeah.
Going back to Sanskrit.
You take the genesis of all those languages. Like, I'm not saying I understand you perfectly.
Yeah.
But I can pick up the gist of a conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, put all that aside. My mom's side of the family, they speak Malayalam. I'm like, wait, say that one more time again. But eventually I'll get it.
Gotcha.
If I meet somebody who's Arabi and mutay tam Arabi, bro, yes, but in like bits and pieces.
Gotcha.
So you take all of that. That made me the fucking weirdest kid back in like the early 2000s or late 90s, whatever you want to call it. But now it's an asset.
100%.
Right? In the business world, in meeting clients of different backgrounds.
Your own brand.
And the fact that we travel collectively, right?
Yeah.
Your company, our company, we go to all these exotic places. People often are very maybe taken aback or surprised to a certain degree. They're like, wait, you understood what I just said? Like, yeah, don't talk shit about me behind my back.
It happens all the time. Every time you go to Mexico. I understand Spanish, bro. I understand a little bit of Spanish. A little bit more than I need to, or I should.
Yeah.
But I understand Spanish. Every time we go to Mexico, last time we went to Mexico, I saw you in Mexico for
Serbi's wedding. Yep.
That was a good time.
That was Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
Don't be racist.
You see what I'm talking about? Costa Rica, freaking Cancun, freaking like going freaking DR. It's a blur.
Yes.
It's a blur. I always say the same thing. It's the same thing to me. Same water, same coconuts, the same chicken.
The dialect is a little different, but yes, I agree with you. I hear what you're saying.
Same palm trees.
Yes.
It's all the same thing, bro. You get off the airport and you feel the same humid punch in your face.
Rainforest weather.
Right.
Yes.
And you go to the venue. Honestly, I'm jaded. 100%.
Yeah.
You know.
Because I mean, we spend, like, think about this. You obviously do more than just DJ, right? Like, this is an amazing space.
Thank
you for having me here. Collectively, we all have multiple streams of passion.
Right.
Pause. Stop it. But that's what makes each one of us
That
unique.
should be your OnlyFans. Streams of passion. You should fuck with that.
Listen, I can't plug my OnlyFans here, but text me on the side, DM me. But yeah, man, I mean, that's why we are built the way we are. That's why we are able to do what we do. Like, not everybody's built this way.
We're hungry.
We're not only hungry, but we're hungry enough to, if we can't find a way, we make a way.
100%. 100%.
Let me say that one more time. If you can't find a way, then make a way.
Right.
Because in 2024, now going to 2025, if you, with all the avenues of creativity that's available to you, if you cannot find a way to be a creative in this universe, listen to your parents and become a doctor.
100%. The resources are out there. It's free resources. Whatever you want, it's at your fingertips. It's at your fingertips, right?
But you have to do the research. You have to do the work.
Yeah.
You have to do the you know.
Not too many people want to do the work.
That's where I think my attitude towards a lot of, I don't want, again, no names mentioned, but that's where my attitude towards a lot of up and comers, a lot of newcomers, a lot of people that are currently thriving in the industry, is where my shit falls apart.
Right.
And I'm like, bruh, like, you just want everything
handed to you on a silver platter. I agree. And
this is not per se. This is not Le Bernardine. We're not doing a la carte. Like, you know, we're not doing a tasting menu.
Yeah,
like,
but that's only going to last for so long. But that's only going to last for so long. That's going to bottom out. That bottom's going to fall out quicker than you can even know.
And there's a reason why those two restaurants that I just mentioned have survived through COVID, have survived through every downfall, economy, 2008, the meltdown. Well established with a strong foundation, to going back to our original point of having and building a strong foundation, the reason why those people still exist.
100%.
Yes, you might spend $700 there per person, but there's a reason why you do that. There's a reason why people spend the money they do with you, with us.
Right.
There's a reason why. You see what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you mean.
So put in the work, man.
I mean, I've been through it. You know, 2008 came and 2008 left, right?
Yep.
Honestly, it didn't affect me at all. I mean, I don't think the recession affects anybody in the wedding industry.
Yeah.
Especially at that time frame.
I mean, if I tell you quite the opposite, where I was sitting scared shitless at that time at a bar with my boss, thinking if I'm going to have a job, if my, at the time, boss, like CFO did not, you know, negotiate a bailout with the feds, like, shit, man. But yeah, it's surviving 2008 at a Fortune 50 company. Let me say that one more time. Fortune 50, not 500.
Yeah.
Fortune 50 company.
Right.
Do the math.
Yeah.
Like, people love seeing pictures and thinking all you do is party. All you do is this. All you do is chill. All you do is vibes.
That's not reality.
Yeah, bro, I got vibes, but guess what? I'm paying for my own vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. If you live on Instagram, I mean, pictures and all that good stuff is one thing. That's just, you know, people say it all the time, and that's all the time. That's you showing your best days.
Yeah.
Your best moments in time for that particular instant.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's 1 minute out of 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Those people have no idea that I lost a parent, that I'm an only child. No, all good. But only, like, there's so much that you don't know, which is why I appreciate you doing this with so many of us, right? Like myself included, some of my homies included that you've already spoken to and hopefully continue to speak to in the future, is there's so much perspective to gain out of all of this.
Right. It's not glitz
and
glamour.
it's not perspective for like, hey, younger generation, I'm trying to teach you something. No. This is perspective on people that might be my age that just probably are finding out shit that they didn't even know about me.
Right.
This is about shit that maybe somebody's parents might listen to and be like, oh, I should treat my kids a little better.
Right.
Or have a little more fucking empathy towards them.
Right. Because
There's so much more to this.
100%.
So I appreciate you doing this, man.
Whatever I can do, man. I'm a strong believer in community service. I'm a strong believer in helping the community succeed to where it should be, and where it eventually will be, right? I play my part. And whatever I can do, I use my resources to the best of my ability to help out. You know,
awesome, man.
I've done a lot. Thank you. Working with Edison, the disability. I do a lot of charity events, diaper runs, all that good stuff, you know?
Awesome.
My thing is the platform that we created for ourselves through hard work. What will you do with that platform? Is it just to maintain your own self, your own finances? Or is it to help others than yourself? Help the society that you're part of.
And I mean, listen, man, to that note, I will tell you this. I mean, I think there are certain causes that are pretty, like the National Suicide Foundation, St. Jude's. There's so many causes that are near and dear to my heart for my own specific reasons, which we're not going to touch upon right now.
We can, absolutely.
It might be a little too sensitive for other people. So
that's on them. It's the Jay Rana Show, bro.
That's fair. But to that end, I would love, just like I told you, given that my birthday is coming up, is to partner. Let me know what charity means something to you, and let me raise money for you.
I appreciate that.
We'll do it, man.
I appreciate that.
It's the least I could do.
I work with St. Jude's all the time. We work with Planting Hope. It's a nonprofit organization as well. We do a lot of charity runs. I try to be independent as much as I possibly can. Right? Throwing events. We work with St. Peter's. We have a close relationship with them as well. Raising diapers for the babies for the Great Expectations. They're located in Somerset, New Jersey.
Somerset, yeah.
Blankets for chemo patients, right? Raising a lot of cool stuff just to help out. Just help out. There's no point of us working so hard to be where we are just to be there. And there's more to life.
Do it independently, and tag me in the sense of you can still have it be independent, but be like, hey, my buddy wants to do it in honor of like whoever is suffering or whatever. Because this is what I do. Take me up on it. Done, sealed, and done.
I got you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, it's all about helping each other, right? And if your platform, it's a great platform that you have, all the cool things that you've done, you traveled internationally to be where you are today. I've worked hard to be where I am today as well. We created a certain atmosphere for ourselves, right? Why not help the needy when no one else can?
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Are you married?
Not yet.
Not yet? That was quick, right? That was quicker than work. Are you seeing someone?
Not yet.
Are you seeing someone?
Yes.
Is it serious?
Very.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Is that why? I mean, I know I follow you, right? So is that why you go to LA all the time?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. So I'll give you a little tidbit about LA. The city of Los Angeles got introduced to me for very different reasons. But it is a city that I met who I'm currently seeing. Let me take that back. Not met, but reconnected with.
Gotcha.
The person I'm with, she's originally from Jamaica, Queens, like New York. You know what I'm saying?
Hometown.
But Texan born. Let me throw that in there.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like California is something that
I
will give you.
You're turning red, right? With the red like the bar.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. It might be the lights. I don't know. But California to me is one of those things where, like, I went through a lot of hardship when it comes to, again, losing a parent, relationships, so on and so forth. Long story short, I had my faults. Right. I'm not here to point fingers at anyone, none of that. But it truly gave me the sense of why people say everything happens for a reason. Okay. And I'm not trying to sound cliche by any means.
But it's true.
But to me...
If you believe it, it's true.
To me, for my own personal life and personal reason, man, do I believe in it now. Because everything did happen for a reason. And for the better. Right? Let me throw that in there as well.
God's plan. You can't fight it.
God's plan. And so, yeah, man, like when we reconnected, it was awesome. It was magical. And now we're 2 years in and, TBD. Stay tuned.
Nice. Good job. Good job. Yeah, but I'm sure it was hard creating a personal life, personal relationships, being the person you are. I mean, it's part of it, right? I've been in relationships on and off, in and out, and it worked in the beginning because it was all fresh and new. But once you get into it, it doesn't.
When you get out of the honeymoon phase, like that's when the real work comes in.
Especially with what we do for a living.
Yeah, like it's hard to build trust. It's not hard to build trust, but you have to build trust.
Yeah.
You have to put work into it. You have to put you have to put effort into it.
100%.
It's not going to be a one-way street. You cannot sit there and expect the other person to do everything for you. And that was something I had to learn, quite frankly, the hard way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, right? So
Heartbreaks and heartaches.
Yeah.
Heartbreaks and heartaches.
Operational heartaches, operational hazards, whatever you want to call it. But that's what happens. But God's plan, everything happened for a reason. Here we are. And LA to me is the perfect example of being a New Yorker after having been here for as long as I have been. It's the perfect, if you know how to drive stick shift. New York has always been like 6th, 7th gear.
Right.
Going to LA or having a bit of SoCal in your blood and in your environment, to me, again, this is all my humble opinion, and what works for me, doesn't have to work for everybody, is the perfect way of gearing down to 4th gear.
Okay. I'm just cruising.
Cruising without actually like getting off the freeway. You know what I mean? Like it's just the perfect speed.
Every time I go out to LA, every time I go out to San Diego, it's just love and vibes. Mm-hmm. It's just so chill.
Yep.
I can't say I could breathe out there better because it's like a different vibe. Mm-hmm. When I go out there, it's just chill.
Yeah.
It's very laid back.
And you nailed it by saying that, because when people ask me, they're like, what do you like better? I'm like, it's not about one being better than the other. New York is its own vibe. Yeah. New York, Jersey, Connecticut, like this tri-state, New York, Jersey specifically. For me, even like, if you remember just a little bit about my past, I used to be up in Boston quite a bit as well.
Okay.
So I consider New York, Jersey, Boston more of my tri-state, New York, Jersey, Philly more of my tri-state.
Right.
One each respective from the other.
And that builds a certain skin.
Yeah.
Being here.
Yeah. But going to LA for me is just like Shanti.
Do you think having that thick skin from the East Coast, having it on the West Coast is just too much work, or is it hard to? Number one, what's a two-part question? Number one, is it too much work to have that armor, or is it easier and is it harder to let go of that armor?
Fantastic question. The armor can actually sometimes backfire.
Right.
Very easily.
And that's happened to me over
because, so for example, like, let me switch gears back to like my finance career, right? Like the firm that I work at, we're headquartered in Los Angeles. If I bring that New York hustle, like hammer down mentality, they'll bounce me out in a heartbeat.
Really?
Yeah. They'll bounce me out in a heartbeat.
It's not like they use their advantage and all that stuff.
Listen, they're affiliated with the market. They're on the street, all that. But you bring that Wall Street mentality, they will show you the door in a heartbeat.
Really?
So it is imperative that you find that balance, especially if you're like let's talk on like not talk about the DJ side and the entertainment side.
Yeah.
Entertainment side, you have to have a thick skin.
Yeah.
Like layers and layers of it. To be honest with you,
right.
Like especially forget about DJing, music, production, all that. You get into like the whole acting world, maron, forget it.
100%.
Game over. Like you need to have layers. Sadly to say this, and I don't mean this in a personality way, but you need to be a snake.
Okay.
You need to be able to get the tears and shed that skin off and start fresh. Get the tears, shed the skin off.
Are you affiliated with the acting world over there?
Not directly. But a lot of my friends have done some incredible work.
Nice.
But that's not a world that I'm too affiliated with.
Okay.
But from an entertainment standpoint, like even the companies like ours that are out there, They go through some of the same hardships.
Yeah.
There's something that's hugely different with them and with the East Coast is budget.
Okay.
And that, just to come full circle back into the wedding industry, people are doing big things out there, but the cost of living and the cost of even doing business out there might be just a little different, where if somebody from the West Coast were to fly somebody out from the East or the UK or Canada or whatever, they'll immediately feel like, wait, the sticker price shop. Wait, what now? Like, what's the total?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just because the cost of business is different. It's not cheaper, and that's people always tend to, like, you can compare numbers in factuality. They're different from one another.
Okay.
They're cheaper. One is lower, one's higher. But extrapolate that with your cost of living, and your numbers are very different.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not black and white, A and B.
Gotcha.
There's a lot more calculation that needs to go on behind that.
100%. I mean, it's the same thing when you move down to Florida. Cost of living is different. Your price range is different. Everyone says, you got to move down to Georgia, North, South Carolinas. Why? Well, it's cheaper. Yeah, but you're also getting paid less.
Yeah.
I mean, everything balances out.
Yeah.
So whatever, if you want to live in a tri-state, you're going to make more. Cost of living will balance that out for you. You go down to the South.
Absolutely.
Unless you work in New York and live down there, now that's the formula you want to find.
Yeah. And, that I think a lot of people have found that, especially, COVID in many ways was a blessing for many people and their careers. And in many ways, it was a detriment to their families and whatnot, losses, whatnot. But this all goes back to that cycle of, listen, you got to be able to adapt. You have to be able to, you can't just be set in your ways. You got to know how to move and shake with the environment.
Right.
Like, you cannot be like, this
be
is how I've always done things my whole life, and I'm going to close my eyes and keep doing it the same way.
Right.
That will be the beginning of your end.
Right. That's the definition of a psychopath.
It's
doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right?
Definition of insanity.
Insanity.
But it's even a little bit beyond that. That's becoming complacent to a degree where but anything short of telling the world, I've given up.
Right.
If that's what you want to tell the world, listen, if it makes you happy, God bless.
You got to adapt, you got to keep on moving, and you got to change.
But if you want to continue to grow,
right.
See, there's a difference between, in my humble opinion, growth, success, and happiness.
Okay. Talk to me about that.
Happiness does not mean you need to continue growing.
Okay.
Happiness could be you're content with your life. You have everything you need around you, whatever that may be, wife, kids, partner, restaurant, business you own, running successfully, whatever the fuck it is. If you're happy, God bless you.
Right.
But if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like you think you need to achieve more or you want to achieve more, but you're not doing anything about it, that's when that definition of insanity starts.
Gotcha.
Because you keep doing the same thing, and I'm guilty of this. Keep doing the same shit weekend after weekend after weekend, expecting a different result.
Yeah,
you're at the brink of insanity.
Right.
Now, if you're able to switch gears and figure out, hey, maybe moving to LA is a good shock in the system. Moving to Miami, moving to Costa Rica, wherever.
Right.
You need a good jolt. Go to India or go to Pakistan, go to Bangladesh and volunteer at an ashram for 6 months.
Right.
Whatever, man.
Whatever you want to do, just put a shock in your system.
Jolt your system
100%.
and then see what happens.
I agree.
But it takes guts to do that.
Guts in a way, but you also, yeah, guts. I would say you got to have some balls to do it, right? Because it's change, right? People don't like change. People don't like to change because they don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah.
It's like going to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Me and my wife, we're guilty about this. We hate going to different restaurants because we hate being disappointed.
Right.
I don't want to try the chicken fettuccine from this other spot because what if it's not the same? Well, what if?
Yeah.
That what if scares the shit out of us. So
Okay.
we don't. We don't open our palates, we open our mind to go there. So we go back to the same place.
Forget about opening your minds. What if you went to one place that blew your mind away, but
Right.
you went back to the same place 2 months later, and you were unpleasantly disappointed?
Right. So think about that. So you got to have some guts, just like you said, to take the step and try something new,
It's the same risk.
right? That makes
The risk of disappointment is literally the same.
So take that concept, right? That's that food concept. Take the concept and put it into business.
Yeah.
It could be it could be a new townhouse you want to buy, or it could be a condo you want to buy, or you know what? Fuck that. It could be a speaker that you want to purchase.
Yeah.
Right? You want to go from your EVs to RCFs. You want to go from RCFs to Yorkvilles. Right? The disappointment level between those that stops a lot of people from growing into what they need to do,
Yeah.
into what they need to be.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. I'm a creature of habit myself.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird because I do a lot of different things,
Yeah.
but I'm still a creature of habit. Like my core, I go to the same deli,
Yeah.
order the same thing,
Yeah.
and it's pork roll, egg and cheese, not tater ham bullshit. Pork roll, egg and cheese. All right, the same cup of coffee.
There's nothing wrong with being a creature of habit, and there's nothing wrong with having a routine,
Right.
right? So having a routine is very different than becoming complacent.
Right.
So, perfect example. I used to work downtown, 80 Pine Street. Shout out AIG, love you. But my coffee shop, same.
Right.
Breakfast, pretty much the same. Like same place, now they're the same order.
Yeah.
Because we built rapport. Like I built rapport with the cashier or the barista or whoever.
Right.
Like, you know, that's like, you know, you feel like you're somewhat a degree of your home.
Right.
Like an extension of yourself, an
100%.
extension of your livelihood, right?
That's
So
what I
there's
was when I
nothing
was
wrong with that.
That's the way I was when I was living in Piscataway. I had my quick check people.
Yeah.
Had my dry cleaners. I had everybody already in my little network, and it was this routine.
Yeah. I mean, dry cleaners is a perfect example. Like we have our business attire and then we have like our, you know, when we actually are guests for, God forbid, for once at a
God.
wedding. Like our tuxedos, our suits and all that.
My niece is getting engaged.
But you
this
find a good
Saturday.
dry cleaner, I'm not letting go of that. You find a good barber, I'm not letting go of that.
I got a funny story. Well, two funny stories. My dry cleaner, there was a particular dry cleaner I used to go to, right?
Yeah.
Right behind my house. I used to go there all the time, patronize him all the time, right? And one day I stopped because they messed up one of my suits. Okay? I was pissed off. Okay, whatever the case may be. Then I found another dry cleaner down the street going the other direction. And I told them exactly, you know, who I am, what I do, and why it's important that my clothes look a certain way. Just give them some feedback. So they took my business, right? This dry cleaner A, my man came to my house, waited in front of my house until I came home and asked me, why don't you come to my store anymore? And I'm thinking, how much of an impact financially,
Yeah.
how much money did I take away from you
Yeah.
that you actually had the nerve or the balls or the audacity to come to my house?
Yeah.
Number one, I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Number two, I'm like, this is too funny. I just had to laugh.
I mean, that's a bold move on his part.
That's a very bold move on his part.
sure.
I was like, this is not right. Something's definitely off with this dude, right? But it is what it is, right? I mean, our suits, our attire, our weekend attire, it's pretty pricey. You know, dry cleaning does add up for sometimes. It could be your mortgage payment. You know, you never know. And it is what it is, right? But I live now in Woodbridge, right?
Okay.
I still go to my same dry cleaner back in Piscataway, right? The one that I found is a nice Indian couple. Right?
Nice.
They own it. They love me. I love them.
Good.
And they take care of us. You know, they go out of the way, bring all my Indian clothes over there. My wife's Indian clothes is the best thing in the world.
Yeah. If you can, oh man, first of all, you hit something that's like, I'm still looking for it. If someone can handle both like regular attire and like traditional attire, like Indian attire, that is, man, that's just golden.
It's golden.
That's golden.
You don't want to let that go.
No.
And my wife's like, but
And especially if they do a good job.
right. And my wife's like, well, there's a dry cleaners right down the street.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to that
But you'll go all the way to a different town.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
I drive.
Yeah.
It's going to be with the barbershop. First of all, I love my hair. Okay, I don't want to, it is what it is.
Yes.
Now, I've stuck with the same barber for a long time. Okay? There's a new barbershop, there's a new Dominican spot that opened up right behind my house. Like, babe, why don't you just go there? I look at her like, have you lost your mind? You want me
Blasphemy.
to go cheat
Nope.
on my barber?
Nope.
Who's probably watching this, Jay? I love you, bro. I'll never cheat on you. Right? Jay the barber, he's been cutting my hair for years now. He knows exactly how I like my hair.
Yes,
For
sure.
When I first went to this dude, he was intimidated. I'm like, listen, my hair's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Again, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is my expectations.
Yes.
So don't fuck up.
Yes.
Right?
I would cheat on my future ex-wife before I cheated on my barber.
You can't do it.
Without a doubt.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
No way.
I mean, your hair is your hair. For men, your hair is your hair.
Yeah.
And not just that, but being in the wedding industry, being on stage, being in the limelight, on camera, your hair is your hair. And nobody
For as long as I have it.
as long as you have it. But go on, bro. That's what I gotta say. Whatever may be happening as far as the whiteness, the salt and pepper, I'll be a zaddy all the time.
Dude, salt and pepper is a swag, bro.
That's
what it is.
Especially with a certain age group. I mean, that shit works. It does work. It
Yes.
does work. Oh, man.
Definitely.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
You're going to get married eventually, right? Do you think it's going to be on the East Coast, West Coast?
To be honest with you, man, I haven't quite dove into
I'm sure she
all
has.
those details, but I will say this, given, again, what we all do for a living, it's planning an event for someone like yourself and me, it's a bit easier.
Are you going to go big or are you going to go small?
Small.
Okay.
Yeah, small.
Why is that? Because I went small also for my event.
Small
When I
for
got married, I went small. I went very intimate. There was a reason behind my madness. What's yours?
By no means am I, loaded out of my mind, but for me, what I've seen personally from clients as a guest, and may apply to my immediate friend circle and may apply to an extended friends and family circle.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking for this part alone. I'm speaking for both myself and my partner.
Right.
We have seen just money being, you might as well just flush it down the toilet.
Facts. 100%.
Just might as well.
100%.
Just-
Yeah.
Done.
Just burn it.
Yeah, might as well. Just light it up. But for me, her and I love to travel.
Yeah.
Love traveling. And by traveling, I don't mean living in hostels. We like traveling. I much rather invest in that, much rather invest in experiences.
Right.
And listen, even if I do something small, it's still gonna be, but I'm not trying to do a circus.
Gotcha.
No, definitely not.
Gotcha. My parents were like, so how many guests are you going to be having? 300, 400, 500 people? I'm like, no, Mom, not. And that's what my parents wanted.
Yeah.
The big hoopla.
Yeah.
And that. I'm like, no. We're going to have 200 guests.
I can't lie. Once upon a time, I did want, I think my guest count alone on my side of the family was probably around 6.
Okay.
Just my side of the family. Friends, industry.
600 people?
Yes.
You're shitting me, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But
That's inviting everyone that you know.
no, it's not.
No, that's inviting everyone you
It's
know.
lit-
Politics
On
did
God.
play
On God.
that.
There's no
Okay.
politics. It's not because, somebody that goes to my mother that hasn't seen me in 10 years and has nothing to do with all that
Okay.
nonsense. And yes, I did say nonsense. These were legit people that have been part of my life from day one.
Wow.
Inclusive of people in India, Africa, Saudi, Doha, you name it. I'm talking about my fucking clan.
Yeah.
That number is probably dwindled down to 15% of that.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, it's not because I don't like anybody, but I think people have had shift in, not personalities, priorities.
Okay.
People have had a shift in priorities. A A lot of my friends now have children
Right.
that were single back then.
Right.
Right. So like I try to be mindful of that. I don't want to be
That
one of
plays
those
a big
people.
role also.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
you
want
know,
to be one of those people where I'm just like, hey, listen, dude, I know you just had a newborn, but you have to come to my bachelor party for 6 weeks. Like, what? What are you talking about, man? I would never do that to anyone.
It's funny because that happens. It just happened to me a few days ago. You know, my son was just born. He's 40 days old now, I want to say, and we just got a call. Hey, we're gonna go traveling. You want to come? What? Where do you want me to go? Oh, we're just gonna go. You know,
be right there. I'll meet you there.
We're gonna go across the pond for a couple of weeks. So I'm like, okay, well,
I'll meet you at the gate, bro.
yeah. You know, at least think.
Yeah.
Think. You know, my wife is home. She's on a year of maternity leave. Thank God we're in a place that we can put her on a year of maternity leave. But no.
Love that you said that.
Well,
Love that you said that because
100%.
we collectively as a community need to do a little bit more of that, which is maybe perhaps think about the other person first before you think about yourself.
Always. You always have to think about your family.
Yeah.
You know, I'm that person, right?
Yeah.
So some people can be different. You know, Will Smith and Jada Smith, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're opposites. So during that whole red table conversation I had, Will said he thinks about his family first, make sure they're 100, then he thinks about himself, okay? Jada said the opposite. She says, I think about myself first, make sure I'm at 100, then I can help my family around me, right? So no one's wrong and no one's right. I mean, in their own vantage point, right?
Correct.
Me, I'm more like Will. I will help out everyone else first, then I'll take care of myself, as long as I can. You know what I'm saying? And my wife and my
clutch
family,
words right there. As long as you can.
as long as I can.
And that, in a sense, kind of makes a jug handle, respect to Jersey, back to the original point of you have to make sure you're capable of taking care of other people.
100%.
And that means you have to make sure you're at 100%.
Yeah.
Or as close to it.
Right.
Because if you're not capable of helping yourself or you're not okay, you have no business, respectfully. And I don't mean you as in you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying a person does not have any business helping anybody else if they're not all together.
Yeah, because you're going to cost me.
And I don't mean you have to have all your affairs in order, but you have to have some sense of stability.
Right.
Before you can even deign to think about helping.
That goes back to what we were talking about an hour ago, a strong foundation.
Ding, ding, ding.
A strong foundation.
It always circles back to that.
Yeah. I worked very hard to have a strong foundation in my family life, my professional life, my finances, whatnot, right? Just so I can, if I wasn't financially secure, I wouldn't be able to do charity work, right? If I wasn't socially secure, I wouldn't be able to run any of my entertainment companies, right? If I wasn't personally secure and centered, I wouldn't be able to enjoy my family.
For sure.
And grow my family.
For sure.
You know?
Absolutely.
On that note, that's going to be our time.
My brother, appreciate you so much.
Already.
Thank you.
Of course.
Haas.
Do me a favor. Watch, sit back down, take a look at the camera, go into your plugs, go into your platforms, your SoundClouds, all that good stuff.
All right. Jay Rana Show, thank you so much for having me. My name is Ash G. I represent one brand only. It's called DJ USA. We obviously have Diwali that just got locked down. Times Square, phenomenal. Video soon coming out. Diwali Times Square on Instagram. Follow me. Follow DJ USA Studios for all of our mixes. Follow me on Ash G Official on Instagram. And New Year's, and let me be the first to tell you right now, Cipriani, New York City, 42nd Street. We coming back live. Haas. Jay, thank you so much.
Absolutely, bro. You rock out Cipriani's every year.
Yes, sir.
Now, we're going to continue. I mean, you did the plug, but Times Square, how does it feel to be on that billboard, on that screen?
Tears.
You know what? Save that thought. That's going to be Ash G Part 2.
Say less.
Okay? Ash G Part 2. So I'm going to talk to you more in depth about that, okay?
Copy that, brother.
Guys, that's our time. Again, thank you for watching the Jay Rana Show here at the Titan Union, For more information, please make your way into our social media. You can see us online at the Jay Rana Show, see us online at the Titan Union, drop me a DM, and as always, I'll see you on my dance floor. Peace.